Did you know companies invested $1 trillion in advertising last year? $1 trillion in advertising. All right, let's play this out. If you counted $1 every second to get to $1 billion, it would take you 31 and a half years. Now, to get to $1 trillion, if you counted $1 every second, would take you 31 and a half thousand years. So the question is, right? Why would these companies invest so much money in advertising? I think the answer is simple. I think the answer is because they see the value in your attention. Now it's time that you see the value in your attention as well. So I remember a few weeks ago, right? I told myself after work, I'm gonna go to the gym. After the gym, I'm gonna come home, I'm gonna eat dinner, and I'm gonna read and I'm gonna create some podcast content, right? I'm gonna create some outlines for the podcast. And I get home, I have dinner, and then I say, you know what? I'm gonna hop on Facebook really quickly. I'm gonna scroll for a little bit, some mindless scrolling. So I'm gonna just do it for 5 minutes. 5 minutes turned into like 30, 40 minutes. And then no lie, as soon as I get off Facebook, I get a phone call from one of my boys who wanted to talk. So there goes another 30 minutes. At this point, it's like 8, 8:30. And why am I sharing this story? Is because I got distracted, right? I had something I wanted to focus on, something I wanted to do, but then distractions got to me. The point of me sharing this story is because it's not the government, it's not your W 2 or your 9 to 5, it's not your kids, it's not your friends that are preventing you from accomplishing your goals. Do you know what's preventing you from accomplishing your goals? Distractions are. Distractions are what get in the way of us achieving what we want to achieve. Now, a distraction, the way I would define a distraction, is just a thing that prevents you from giving your full attention to something else. So it's a thing that prevents you from giving your full attention to something else. I had a conversation with someone the other day, and they were sharing. And by the other day, I think it was like 5 days ago, right? And they were sharing that they want to start a business. They have this business idea, but they didn't know where to start. So then I talked to my boy on the phone who was asking for some business advice. Like, B, what do you think? What should I do? So I gave him a couple tips, right? I'm like, hey, do this, do that, do this. I think one of the steps or one of the action items I told them was reach out to this person because this person will be able to get you on the right path, right? Specific to the business you're looking to start. And that was the first step. Just call this person. I'm gonna make the introduction. Call this person. Next day, I follow up with my boy. Right, end of the day, probably 6, 7 o'clock. Hey, bro, uh, did you call so and so? And he was like, Nah, man. I was so busy. Like it was a crazy day. We talked last night. I didn't get to it, but I'm gonna get to it tomorrow. Bro, I kid you not. This guy was playing video games when I called him. Nothing wrong with video games if you're a gamer. Nothing wrong. But he told me he was so busy that he couldn't call this person that could actually help him achieve his goal, right? Get one step closer to achieving his goal, which he said was starting a business. Why am I sharing this? It's because he was supposed to do this one thing, but got distracted and ended up doing something else that didn't bring him closer to his end goal, right? And so that's the dangers or the danger of distraction. I like this quote. Many of you guys who know me know that I'm a fan of quotes. I really like this quote by Winston Churchill, and he says this: You will never reach your destination if you stop and throw stones at every dog that barks. At every dog that barks. Every dog that barks is an analogy for the phone call that comes in, the Instagram notification, the whatever it is, right? You got to clean your crib, you got to do this, you got to clean your car, right? All these different distractions, all these different dogs that bark, to use that metaphor, is if we get distracted, right, with these things that don't bring us closer to our goals, we're delaying us achieving that goal, or if we ever achieve that goal. So the key is to limit distractions, which I know is easier said than done, but I'm going to give you some practicals, some things that I'm applying in my life because this is something that I also got to be mindful of, right? just the other day or a couple weeks ago, I'm the one that said, when I come home, I'm going to achieve these things. I'm going to do these things. And then I got distracted and didn't do them. So this podcast episode is as much for me as I hope it is for you. All right. So practical solutions. First one is identify your true priorities. Identify your true priorities. Now, why do I emphasize true and priorities? It's because I feel from my experience, myself haven't done it, and friends that have done this, people that I know that do this, is we say that certain things are a priority, but in reality, they're not. An example, right? I love to work out. I love exercising. I love, movement. I love getting my heart rate up, right? Sweating, working out. I really enjoy that. It's a priority for me. So I make it a priority to move my body every day. I have friends who say health and wellness are a priority for them, but they don't work out. It's not a reflection, right? I heard Dan Martell say this: show me your checkbook and show me your calendar, and I'll show you what your priorities are. Show me your checkbook, show me your calendar, and I'll show you what your priorities are. So the reason why I say identify your true priorities is because oftentimes we're saying we prioritize or that we value certain things, but in reality, we don't. So that's step one: identify your true priorities. Step two, again, very practical: focus on those. Focus on what your true priorities are. Ask yourself this question: is what I'm working on or what I'm doing, is it bringing me closer to my goal or further away? Is what I'm working on bringing me closer to my goal or further away? If the answer is further away, then all right, maybe I need to decrease the amount of time I'm spending on this or completely eliminate it and focus more on what I say my goal or my goals are. All right, I'll give you an example. A priority for me is creating content to share with you, right? Learning, receiving, so then I can share with you guys. And one of my priorities is for the week, one of my goals is to have 3 podcast outlines created: Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday, 1 episode, Wednesday, another, and then Friday, the 3rd. So that's an example of identifying what your priorities are and then focusing on those priorities and asking yourself, is this bringing me closer or further away from my goals? And I'm going to conclude again with the Winston Churchill quote: "You will never reach your destination if you stop and throw stones at every dog that barks." So guys, get focused, lock in. Your goals are too great. The vision that you have for your life, the things you'd like to accomplish, so many people can receive value from it. So every day that we delay or that we get distracted and don't work on that thing, we're delaying our ability to be able to serve and care for people. So again, a distraction is just a thing that prevents us from focusing or placing our full attention to something else. So with that being said, guys, if you received value from this podcast, please like, subscribe, and comment as well. I love hearing from you guys and interacting with you guys. So with that being said, it's your boy Brandon with Driven by Growth Podcast. Peace.